Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. I'm Aram, joined by Steve Ramirez, and behind the camera practicing his dance moves, Fred J. Robledo. For the Pasadena area, this is a real big game. For the Tribune area, this is a real big game. Two of the top contenders from both sides of those towns are going to meet up in a very, very, for lack of a better term, critical non-league game that's going to really show us a lot about both teams. We could be talking about none other than West Covina, 0-1. They lost to Colony last week, and Colony's the defending Central Division champion. They are going to St. Francis, which hasn't played a game yet, 0-0, 0-0, and St. Francis will be hosting this game at 7 o'clock on Friday night. A lot of people think that in the Pasadena area, and, I don't know, Freddie, maybe you want to weigh in on this, that we're just giving away the #1 spot to St. Francis just because they're #1.
It's like giving away the #1 spot to Bishop Amat.
Right.
And it's because they've earned it. I mean, you look at what they've done the last few years.
This group of kids earned it.
I think their reputation has earned it until someone can knock them off.
Right.
It used to be in that Pasadena area, you'd say the big showdown right now you're waiting for is Monrovia, St. Francis. I think Monrovia has taken a big step back. Here's where West Covina kind of sneaks right in there, and I think they kind of replace Monrovia as that team, albeit it's a little bit more cross valley. But I think it's I really like them playing this because I think it's a great matchup for West Covina coming off that Colony. I mean, West Covina was used to playing the Loyolas. They'd taken on Bishop Amat once, and I think this is a good step up in class, but it's not like something that's unreasonable.
Okay.
And you're right, Aaron, St. Francis, they're not what they were last year, right? Or maybe even
Probably
the year before.
Not. I don't think so. And what they were last year was an undefeated team that went all the way into the second round of the playoffs, but toward the end of their first round game, they lost their stud quarterback, Jeremiah Martin, who was our player of the year. They lose him. Miles Bryant, the sophomore at the time, gets pressed into action. He actually has a good game in a game that Stevie was at against Lucerna, but Lucerna is all over these guys as far as offense on St. Francis' defense, and Lucerna sends St. Francis packing. It was well on its way to the dream 14-0 season, Stevie, and it got derailed. And now St. Francis, they have Bryant back at quarterback, but he wasn't the starter last year. He filled in nicely. They have Eric Nazarian back at running back, guy I like to call Armenian Thunder. Very good, versatile back to catch the ball. Catch the ball.
Does he like when you call him Armenian Thunder?
Maybe not. He knows he probably doesn't have much of a chance.
One Armenian can say that about another Armenian.
Yeah, right. They have Jasher Foster, the receiver, who's a track stud, but I'm not sure, what his I guess his resume is as far as being a receiver. We know he's fast in a straight line, but can he catch? Can he do all these things? It'll be interesting to see that. And they got a lot of guys to replace on defense as well. So, and here you have West Covina coming to town. West Covina just played a bang-up game against Colony. This is no joke for St. Francis. I mean, they're going to be tested in a big way.
But the thing, and I've said this about other programs who've had long stretches of success.
Yes.
There comes in a point in a program, you're going to lose guys every year, and the guys who are on the JV or the freshman team, they kind of step up, and they learn that experience, but they're very close in athletic talent, and I think that's what St. Francis is always going to bring to the table, and they do have some weapons, and to me one of the bigger losses is John Carroll.
He was tight end linebacker, very nice player, yeah.
So
now what about Dylan Crawford transferring out? There are questions here. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to St. Francis.
But
there are questions here.
But they've had questions before, and guys that we didn't know a lot about, who stepped up, and kind of continued to just.
That's because of coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because this is one of the better coaching staffs in the area. Jim Bond's one of the best guys around at developing QBs, so you don't worry about that. And, also Bond's very good at developing a good offense. So these players are going to be well polished. You know that. They'll be in the right spot. They'll be all those things. But let me explain something, though. West Covina brings in a coaching staff of its own that knows what they're doing. They've got 3 CIF championships with Missouri, okay? They've got a game under their belt, which St. Francis doesn't have. And West Covina has speed They're going to go out there and hit. This is not a joke. I mean, this game, if West Covina takes a step forward and improves off of the Colony loss, and keep in mind, West Covina is playing without arguably its best player in Isaiah Love, not expected to play this week, still recovering from the neck injury, just recently committed to Washington State. If West Covina takes a step forward out of its game, you know, they might just win this game. I mean, they're not going to be intimidated by this spot. This is a program that's played in tons of big games throughout the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. They're not intimidated.
Well, the coaches won't be intimidated, but there's not a lot of players who've played a lot of the big games the last 4 or 5 years.
I mean, you know, these guys played against Charter Oak last year. I mean, they lost that game.
I thought you meant
they
big
were
playoff
able to whip
games.
Los Altos last year pretty good. I think 21-0. These guys know how to win big games. They know how to play in big games. They're going to relish the moment. I think St. Francis is the pick here because I think that top to bottom St. Francis can do more things. I think they can pass and run. Okay, with Nazarian they can run, and with Miles Bryant, if Bonds has developed him even further, they can pass. And West Covina, I still wonder about their pass attack. Can they pass from behind? And they may be behind in this game, and it's a tough place to play. I'm going to pick St. Francis in this game, but if West Covina comes back with a win on Friday night, nobody in the Valley should be surprised.
If you want to call it an upset, call it an upset. But I'm picking West Covina to go over there and get the W and come back.
Really?
After the showing last week against Colony, I'm just kind of feeling it.
Is that right, Freddie?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't expect that. Stevie, you want to split the decision?
I've got the Golden Knights in this one, but it's going to be it's a pick'em game, and I just think them being at home. And I think they might just have a little bit more than West Covina, but it's going to be one of those games that's going to probably be decided at the end of the game. It's going to be like when St. Francis lost to Monrovia a couple of years ago. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if West Covina won, but I just have to go with St. Francis.
Upset special.
Yeah,
all right, here we go.
This is a great game, fans. You know, you can't miss if you go out to see this one.
It's a great site.
It's a great site for a game as well. Again, just don't look at that statue of the horse on the stick because that plays with my mind.
Good food there too, yeah.
Awesome food.
Good food there, but as I warned somebody this week, just make sure you're not standing downwind of the smoke.
Yeah.
Because the smoke could blow on you the whole game, and then as soon as you get home that night, Freddie, you're doing laundry and washing your hair because you were like a forest fire.
Yeah.
All right, so
that place isn't designed for 2015 sports writers though.
Yeah, right.
Hard to drive out of there. There's no place to write your story.
Well, Bonds does a great job taking care of us. He'll get us some good parking and whatnot. I'm not sure he'll do it for Vincent Nguyen, who's covering the game this week for us.
Vinny!
I think Vinny's going to be parking in La Cañada, Flint Ridge, like on a horse stable and walking in. But for us, I think we'll be all right. Anyways, get out to that game at 7 o'clock. Freddie's got West Covina. Don't read his blog because there he has St. Francis. And Stevie and I both have St. Francis. It should be a good one.
We get to spoil it all, Aram. I was just about to go in there and switch it out because I'd been thinking about that game when we came out here.
You can switch.
I have till Friday to switch.
You have till Friday.
I reserve the right to switch during the week.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
All right. So there we have it. Enjoy the game.